Show here on Facebook Live. Chat Sports. We have Mr. Tom Stokes, the founder and host of Sports Plus. Tom, a big-time Cowboys guy, so no better time than having him on the program. He's got the shirt going. He's got the mug. He's ready to roll. Tom, how we doing, sir?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, and I'm sure you have a lot of thoughts in terms of the Cowboys as a whole, but of course we have the Ezekiel Elliott situation. The news broke yesterday night. The TRO has been granted. First things first, your initial reactions.
Hey, I think it's great. I mean, you know, Cowboy fans, we're so tired of talking about everything but football. And this whole thing with the federal courts and the collective bargaining agreement with the NFL and going back and forth, it's just crazy. But, you know, we're excited that from what we understand, we're going to have Zeke for at least one more game, maybe two.
Of course, the 49ers coming up this week and then the Washington Redskins. It seems as though, Tom, this could go on for quite a while, and it's funny that you mentioned that Cowboys fans are just tired of this. I can imagine, but at the end of the day, this could be a situation where Zeke maybe misses those 6 games in 2018. Are you mentally prepared for the longevity of this all?
I think that this thing's going to go away. And now some people may, you know, argue that point, but, you know, I've been around Jerry Jones and I've dealt with the Jones family, and I'm not personal friends with Jerry, but I've handled a lot of stuff for Jerry over the years, and we've done a lot of events together. And I think I know the man pretty well to say that he's not going to give up, man. And a lot of people don't realize how powerful Jerry Jones is in the NFL. Like, they think he's just some crazy owner that does pizza commercials. Like, that guy knows what's going on in the NFL, and he knows how to handle things.
Hey, Peyton Manning does pizza commercials too, and he's a pretty significant figure in the NFL, so there you go. But let me ask you this here, Tom. Now, Zeke was fighting this case in Texas. We've now moved to New York, which is, I guess, the backyard, if you will, of the NFL. Their offices are right there. So as a Cowboys guy, are you a little weary now that maybe this case could lean towards the NFL like it did with Tom Brady?
You know, everybody keeps saying that. I don't think so. I really don't. I think it's great that we're in New York because I think it gives us a little more fair advantage, if you will. You know, and if we do, and when we do win this case, I don't think anybody could say, well, you know, it was a Texas court.
And, of course, Zeke will be available, as I mentioned, for the Niners and Redskins, Tom. And I feel like this is pretty significant in the fact that the Cowboys are sitting here at 2-3. The Eagles are rolling. The Redskins look like a pretty solid team in the NFC East. I want to ask you this. Are these next 2 games make or break for the Dallas Cowboys in their season and their playoff hopes?
Well, I don't know if they're make or break, but they certainly are important. And, you know, you're talking about a couple of big rivalry teams. I mean, those teams we've been battling for a long time. And, you know, Redskins and Dallas Cowboys, I mean, that's old, good combat and battling. And, you know, we want to win those games, and we want the advantage of winning those games. I think we got a better shot at winning them with Zeke in the mix. Not taking anything away from Morris. I mean, those guys and the backups are great. But, man, I mean, it's Zeke Elliott. We want Zeke in there. I don't know. I haven't met a Cowboy fan yet that says, okay, we'll do it without Zeke.
Now, let's look at the data here, Tom. So far, Ezekiel Elliott, 105 carries, 395 yards. It's no secret that so far this year, Zeke has regressed a little bit from his 2016 campaign. Are you a little concerned about that? Perhaps maybe with the offensive line not being as good, with Ronald Leary going away and Free, etc.?
Yeah, we lost some good people, man. I mean, I hated to see those guys go, and I think that's a big part of why you see some things working differently. Excuse me. And not to mention that, you know, I mean, we're still have a rookie quarterback. Like everybody keeps looking at him like, well, Tony Romo. I mean, look, he's a rookie quarterback. He's still learning things. His accuracy's been off this year. The front line is not there all the way. We got issues on defense. We got a lot of problems, Cam, that we need to fix going forward, and I think we will. All this stuff is just a distraction, though, when it comes to, focusing on the team. And like, I hate to say this, and I used to hate when the coach said it, but the task at hand. I'm starting to sound like the coach now. Got to focus on the task at hand, and that's winning football games. Everything else is a distraction.
Hey, one game at a time, right? That's the old cliche from the players on up to the NFL owners there. Let me ask you a general question about the NFC East here. It's a division that always seems to really be tight till the bitter end. All of a sudden, the Eagles are absolutely rolling. They're one loss to the Kansas City Chiefs, who you could say is still the best team in the NFL. So with the way in which the Eagles are killing it right now, if you will, are you a little concerned in terms of the Cowboys' playoff hopes because of the Eagles?
Yeah, I do not like the way you're holding the Eagles in a very high honor right now. That's not good.
That is fair. That is fair.
Listen, look, they got a good football team, man. I mean, it's about time. We hate the Eagles here, of course. We hate anybody that's not the Dallas Cowboys. But yeah, man, those guys have finally got it. It looks like they're going in the right direction. There's still a lot of football left to be played, man. Don't count the Cowboys out just yet. And I think this whole thing with Zeke's going to go away, per Jerry Jones, with his ability to negotiate. We don't need Trump. We need Jerry.
There you have it. By the way, even though the Eagles are doing well, you could at least laugh about the New York Football Giants right now, right?
I do laugh. I laugh when they're winning. We hate the Giants too, Ken. There's nobody we like. Listen, I mean, it could be worse. Like, yes, we could be the New York Giants, I guess. Doesn't matter how bad we are. We're still better than the New York Giants, and that makes me feel really good.
Now, Tom, I'm going to go off script a little bit here because you did mention Tony Romo, so I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the whole quarterback situation with the Green Bay Packers. Now, we have a picture of you up in our graphics of you with Tony Romo, so perhaps you know him pretty well, or at least a little bit here. Could he go out of the broadcast booth and play for the Packers now?
Tony's not going to do that, man. Tony's done. It's not going to happen. I mean, I know Tony pretty well to think I can't speak for him, but I'm going to speak on behalf of his wife and kids. Tony's done, man. That's not going to happen. He's happy. He's got a great life here in Dallas. We're so grateful that he stayed here in Dallas, and he's built his family here, his home and his organization. We love Tony Romo. There's nobody says anything bad about Tony Romo. We appreciated everything he gave his life for this team. We appreciate it. And football on the field for him is over, unfortunately.
Well, there's no doubt about it. He has been fantastic in the broadcast booth so far. Hopefully he does as fantastic going forward here. Tom, let me ask you back to the Ezekiel Elliott situation. So we had Adrienne Lawrence on the program earlier, and she made her prediction. She's saying that Zeke's going to lose this. You're going with Zeke is going to win this case. So why do you feel that way? Do you think Roger Goodell really doesn't have any merit?
Yeah, the NFL. Listen, I can't back that up with any law. My shepherdizing case law is long gone. You have to be an attorney now to actually break down a game or talk about football. Is crazy. And I heard what she said. And yes, if you look at the facts, and that's what lawyers do. They look at the facts. They don't deal with theories or conspiracy theories or anything like that. But here's my hunch, and just knowing how Jerry is, I think this thing's going to go away. I think Zeke wins the battle. I think he's going to continue playing. And the NFL is going to have to start changing some rules. It's just not a fair process. The man was never found guilty. He was never arrested. He was nothing happened with his case. And then the NFL comes and says, no, boom, we're going to enforce a law. And, I can't, we don't have enough time in this segment to go into how wrong that is.
Right, and I'll follow up with a question there and kind of provide some logic for you and see if it falls in line with your thinking here. Because, of course, Tom Brady and Deflategate, that was a football-related issue. And so with that, the NFL really wanted to lay down that suspension, etc. Now, with Ezekiel Elliott, no charges were pressed. So do you think that the logic should be, well, because there were no charges against Ezekiel Elliott, the NFL should not have to worry about it because it's not a football issue?
It's not a football. It's a very good point, man. And I've been arguing that online and fighting with people. But, yeah, that's a very good point. I mean, they keep comparing it to Tom Brady, but like you said, that was a football issue. Right. That was all-inclusive, had nothing to do with anything outside of football. this is a totally different issue. I mean, what the man does on his own time is his personal, preference. And if he gets in trouble, okay. But that happened outside of football, and he didn't. Nothing happened. I think that's what aggravates and just frustrates Dallas Cowboy fans the most. Cam, is nothing came of it. So then Roger Goodell says, I'm going to be the judge and jury on this. Bam, 6 games. And like, it's crazy. Everybody thinks it's crazy, except Roger Goodell in the NFL.
The man has spoken, ladies and gentlemen. Tom Stokes of Sports Plus. Check him out, sportsplusshow.com. Big Cowboys guy, as you can tell, ladies and gentlemen. Tom, appreciate you coming on the program. Let's chat again soon, huh?
Let's do it, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, there he goes. Many thanks to Tom Stokes for coming on the program here. So we have two sides of it. Adrienne Lawrence coming on earlier today. She thinks Zeke is going to lose. Thomas Stokes, he's been surrounded by Cowboys lore, if you will, for quite some time. He's very knowledgeable about the Cowboys and Jerry Jones, so he's saying that Zeke's going to win this. So we will see what happens. For now, Zeke has the upper hand. He's got the TRO, and we will see what happens going forward.